Hello students, today we are going to start a new series on case study questions. In this one, we'll first discuss the details of the case study questions, and after that we'll take chapter-wise case study questions. In our first discussion on case study series, first we'll try to cover why case study questions are there, why they have been introduced in the question paper there. After that, we'll discuss what is the nature of case study questions. Then we'll cover how to start case study questions there, and how we should start the preparation for attempting the case study questions there. We'll also discuss how to answer, how to attempt case study questions there. We'll finally do some tips and tricks for solving case study question. We'll take one or two examples of case study questions in today's discussion, so that we can see that if any particular case study have been given there, how the questions are framed on that and how we should try to answer such questions there. So let's start our today's discussion. Why case study questions? Why they have been introduced in the syllabus? So why case study questions are given in the examination there? Case study questions have been introduced to make a connect between the subject, studies and day-to-day life experiences and worthy observations. Remember that case study questions had not been just introduced as some different type of questions there in the syllabus. They have a specific motto behind that. And if you know the motto behind that, why they have been used or why they have been introduced in the syllabus, then you will find it easier to attempt such questions. Because you will not treat them just like a normal question there or one type of question there. So it is basically given so that there should be a connect between the subject what you are studying and also our day-to-day life experiences or some observations what we notice there. It is there to develop an interest in the subject and to have clear concept of the subject. Because if you start observing the things of day-to-day life, you'll find that there is some subject matter. Say we are taking physics, so there must be some topics of physics, some concept of physics being used there. And in that case, once you try to develop an interest in the subject by observing those, then you will also have a clear concept of your subject. Another is there to minimize the chances of the subject being too bookish. If you just treat any particular subject there, or you are reading that particular topic of this particular subject just because it is there in the syllabus, in that case it will be too bookish. You will never develop a interest in the subject, and in that case what will happen, just because it is a part of the syllabus, it is there given prescribed in the syllabus there, you are going through that. So obviously in that case it will be just a monotonous way of preparing that particular subject. And the main thing is there to minimize the rote learning. If you are developing interest in the subject, if you are trying to observe the things in day-to-day life and trying to correlate it with the subject which you have studied, in that case you will minimize the memorizing the things there which is given in your subject. So it is not like just memorizing the things, and if the questions are asked in a traditional way, in that case, which are basically the knowledge-based questions. So nowadays the weightage to the knowledge-based questions are less. So if it is a traditional question, they will be knowledge-based. And since the portion now of the knowledge-based questions are less in the examination, you will not be able to attempt all the questions. And moreover, if you are not just memorizing the things, you are trying also to understand, you are trying to apply that to the different cases there. In that case, you will try to avoid memorizing the things, rather you will try to understand that. So these are some of the things why case-based questions have been introduced. Now let's just see what is the nature of case study questions there. Of course, you have already seen passage type questions or passage based questions there in other subject, basically the language papers there. Okay, so these are different from the traditional language paper questions there, which are based on a particular passage, because there, if any particular passage is there and if the questions are given there based on that particular passage, it is basically a test of your grasping of the things given in a particular passage and how much you have grasped, how much you have understood. It is tested when you are attempting such questions there based on that passage. But here it is different. It is based on some situation. Some situation will be given or some case will be given there, and such cases will be there, basically application of the theory read. Whatever theory you have read on a particular subject there, these will be based on that. So those cases will be there, have some topic of your syllabus hidden there, or it will be based on that. You will have to find out on what topic it is given there, and based on that you can answer the question there. It is basically a test of understanding level of the concept. If any particular case is given based on a particular topic, they will test that how much you have grasped or how much is the depth of your knowledge on that particular topic. So the questions will be based on that way. How to start? How to start doing case study question? Now here, when you are starting case study question, and suppose the questions are there which is given chapter wise. So for that, revise the chapter thoroughly before attempting the questions, if you are solving chapter wise questions there. So anywhere, if you find the questions are given chapter wise, so before solving that, you revise that particular chapter. Or if you are practicing in general or randomly, ensure to revise the syllabus thoroughly. When you are doing case study question and if you come across any particular question where it is not given chapter wise, before attempting such question there, ensure that you have revised the entire syllabus thoroughly. Then only you try to attempt. Next, how to answer, how to attempt case study questions there. Now for that, scan through the passage. Whatever is given in the case there, the entire passage, just scan through that. It's not that you are reading word by word of that particular passage there, as you are doing in the language paper passage there. Just scan through the passage. It will be basically to know that on what topic it is given. So don't waste your time in going through each word of that particular passage. Scan through that, and after that you read the question first. First you read the questions. Once you have scanned through that, you have an idea on what particular topic it is given there. Then you read the question. You will find many questions are there in that particular case study, which you can just solve by the knowledge of the subject matter on that particular topic. And for some, it may require the use of the data given in the problem. So check whether the data or the details given in the passage needs to be used, or your knowledge of the subject is required in that particular case. If any reference to the data is given in as a part of the question there, then go through that passage and just put that particular data. But there may be many questions there which is based on the topic on which that case study passage is given. So for that, It is just your knowledge on that particular topic is required for answering such questions. So that you can directly use. Answer wisely. Go through the question, read it properly and completely, go through the different options, and then you choose the correct option. And don't blindly jump to the conclusion. Many times, if it is suppose your multiple choice question, maybe the first and the second answer may be there, or the option which will be there, it may appear as if this is the correct answer, but it may be just the partly correct answer. You have to choose the best answer of that particular question out of the given option. It may be there in the third or the fourth one. So just go through the different options of that particular question, and then only you try to attempt that and choose the correct answer. So these are some of the things which you should take care before attempting case study question. And I think if you just go through all these details, if you follow the things, you will get full marks in case study question. You will not make any mistake in that. Now we'll just take one or two questions there on case study, and we'll see if any passage is given, the questions are given, how you should attempt that. So let's take first question. This is the first case study question we are taking. Read the following text and answer the following questions on the basis of the same. The given passage is there. The large scale transmission and distribution of the electrical energy over long distances is done with the use of transformer. The voltage output of the generator is stepped up. It is transmitted over long distances to an area substation near the consumer. Then the voltage is stepped down. It is further stepped down at distributing substations and utility pole before a power supply of 240 volt reaches our homes. So here, this was the passage, and now this is the diagram also given that we have the power station and we have a step up transformer first there, then it is a long distance transmission being done, then we have the step down transformer and other end which is given where we get those voltages there or power supply at our houses. Now let's see what type of questions are given. The first question is, which of the following statement is true? Remember, the passage was there, the use of transformer in long distance transmission of power. So here the first one is, energy is created when a transformer step up the voltage. Second option is, transformer is designed to convert an AC voltage to DC voltage. This is wrong. First one was also wrong. Third one, a step up transformer increases the power of transmission. This is also wrong because the transformer does not change the power. It is just a stepping up or stepping down the voltage or the current there. So this is also wrong. The fourth one which is there, a step down transformer decreases the AC voltage. Now this is correct. So here this is the correct option. Now here you can see in this particular question, the matter which was given in the passage was not required to answer this particular question. The knowledge of your step up transformer or step down transformer is enough to answer this question. Let's try to see the other questions there. The second one is, if the secondary coil has a greater number of turns than the primary, the voltage is stepped up, that is Vs is greater than Vp, and arrangement is called a step up transformer. Second option is there, voltage is a step down, Vs is less than Vp, and arrangement is called a step down transformer. Next, the current is the stepped up, that is 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 greater than Ip, and the arrangement is called a step up transformer. And fourth one is the current is a step down, the arrangement is called a step down transformer. Is is less than Ip. Now here, if you see that it is given that secondary coil has greater number of turns. If secondary has greater number of turns there, then it is your step-up transformer, because you know that if Vs by Vp, which is given, it is your Ns by Np. Now, this Ns is greater than Np. In that case, Vs will be greater than Vp, and this is basically your step-up transformer. So obviously in this particular case, the first one, voltage is stepped up and arrangement is called a step-up transformer. This is correct one. Remember the second one, which is there, a step-down transformer will have Vs less than Vp. Arrangement is called a step-down transformer. This is also a correct statement, but not as per the question, because in the question it is given that the secondary coil has greater number of turns than the primary. So obviously in this particular case, the first one is the correct option. Let's now take the next question. We need to step up the voltage for power transmission so that the current is reduced and consequently the I square R loss is cut down. This is correct. Let's see the other options also before we opt for the first one. The voltage is increased. The power losses are also increased. This is wrong. Voltage is definitely increased if it is a step-up transformer, but the power losses are decreased. Power is increased before transmission is done. This is wrong. Voltage is decreased so that V square by R losses are reduced. This is also wrong because you are stepping up voltage. So in that case, the first one is the correct option. Because for the given power, if you consider, if you have the power there, I into V, power is fixed, power is being transferred there. If you have a higher voltage, then the current will be less. And energy loss, if you consider, that is the power loss if I take. This is your I square R. If current is less, it is decreased. In that case, the power loss will also be decreased. So the first one is the correct option. Let's take the fourth question. The power transmission line feeds input power at 2300 volt to a step down transformer with its primary winding having 4000 turns. The number of turns in the secondary in order to get output voltage of 230 volt R. Now here you know that voltage in the secondary to voltage in primary, this is related with the number of turns in secondary to number of turns in primary. So here we need the voltage output at 230 volt. So it is 230 divided by input voltage 2300. Number of turns in the secondary is asked and number of turns in the primary is given as your 4000. So here it is 1 by 10. So 110 will get cancelled and number of turns in the secondary you will get it as your 400. So that means here the second one or the B option will be the correct one. Let's take next question. This is the second case study question. The flow of charge in a particular direction constitute the electric current. Current is measured in ampere. Quantitatively, electric current in a conductor across an area held flowing across that area per unit time. Current density at a particular point in a conductor is the ratio of the current at that particular point in the conductor to the area of cross section of the conductor at that particular point. The given figure shows a steady current flow in a metallic conductor of non-uniform cross section. Current density depends inversely on area. So J1 is greater than J2 as A1 is less than A2. Now you can see in the diagram, this is the diagram of a conductor of variable area of cross section. It is given current is flowing through it. A1 is less than A2. So obviously in terms of the current density, we can say that J1 will be greater than J2. Now let's see what are the questions which are there. It is of course related with the flow of the current through a conductor of variable area of cross section that was given in the passage there. Now let's see the questions there. What is the current flowing through a conductor if 1 million electrons are crossing in 1 millisecond through a cross section of it? You have been asked to find the current there. Now we know that current, it is basically rate of flow of the charge. So it is your delta Q by delta T. And for this delta Q, we can take it as your NE because we have a particular number of electrons flowing through that particular conductor and it is given by delta T. So if you just substitute 1 million 10 to the power 6 electronic charge 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 divided by 1 millisecond 10 to the power minus 3 second. So in this particular case, if you consider, it is your 1.6 and now the power of 10 if I consider, this is your minus 19 plus 6 and this will also go in the numerator there. So it will make that one 9, 10 to the power plus 9. So it is your 10 to the power minus 10. So now let's see, is there any option there? Yes. Second one is the correct option there. 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 10 ampere. So here, see again, whatever is given in the passage, we have not used that particular thing. It is just your knowledge how the current is there, how current is expressed in terms of the charge, in terms of the number of electron flowing through a particular conductor there per unit time, that we have used. So basic definition of the current have been used here. Let's now take SI unit of the electric current. Now here, the different options which are there, Coulomb second, Newton per second square, Coulomb per second, then it is per Coulomb per second. Obviously, the SI unit, you know that it is your ampere and that ampere is there in terms of Coulomb per second. So the second one is the correct option. Now let's take the third one. Third one is a steady current flows through a metallic conductor of non-uniform cross section. Which of these quantities is constant throughout the conductor? Now, first one is your electric field. This is not uniform. Drift velocity, this is also not uniform or it is constant throughout the conductor. Electric current, yes, electric current is the one which is same through every point of that particular conductor there. Electric current density, this is also not correct. So third one is the correct option here. Let's take the next question. A constant current is flowing across the length of conductor of variable cross section as shown in the figure, which was given in the particular figure there. The quantity which does not depend upon the area of cross section. The quantity which is not depending upon area of cross section. First one is your electron density. Of course, this one will be property of the material there. So this is the one which will not depend upon the area of cross section. Current density, it will definitely depend because it is your current per unit cross section. If the cross sectional area is changing, it will change. Drift velocity, this is also changing there because the area of cross section is changing. Electric field, that will also be different there. So here in this particular case, electron density, that is the correct option. Now let's take the next question. When a current of 40 ampere flows through a conductor of cross section 10 meters square, then the current density, electric current density at a point in the conductor is the ratio of the current at that point in the conductor to the area of cross section. So it is current per unit area of cross section. So current density, it will be equal to I by A. So here current is given as your 40 ampere and then it is your 10. So this is your 4 ampere per meter square. So the first one is the correct option there. This is how you can solve case-based questions there. So this was our discussion on some sample case study questions in today's discussion. And in our next discussion, we'll now take chapter wise. So first one will be case study questions on electrostatics.